Alright. Well, welcome everyone. Those of you that are in here in the Zoom part of this. You know, if I'm telling a story, go ahead and unmute yourself if it's not too noisy where you are. Or, you know, unmute and say hello to me in between songs just so I don't feel isolated. But I dug this one up here. I got a job washing dishes when I was 16. It was the scariest time of my life for me. Had a future that used to just torture me with questions like, who are you going to be? Will your life have meaning? Will your mind be strong? Will you be a man people can depend on? Will you always be frightened? Will you ever be brave? Will you still be washing dishes when you're old and gray? Big Trouble used to love to sneak up on me. He'd say boo and I'd jump 5 feet. He would threaten big weather, big wind and big rain. That's all it would take to blow me away. 20 years later my doorbell rings. It's old man Trouble asking for me. My woman is crying and my kids are too, 'cause they know what old man Trouble can't do. I should be shaking, I should be scared, but looking at him just makes me mad. Hey mama, come over, come look, come see what 20 long years have done for me. Your frightened little twig turned out to be the oak in the middle of his family. And Big Trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. Big Trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. Trouble comes here, all trouble can see is my limbs are strong and my roots are deep. I'm planted in the middle of this family and I keep my weeping willows close to me. I say wrap your branches around me now, just trust me, hold on strong. 'Cause when the big storm comes, the wind and the rain, this oak will not be blown away anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. Oh, when the big storm comes and the bad winds blow, Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. Yeah, so unmute so I can hear the applause. So just so I don't feel like a crazy person talking to my computer. Alright, here's one I haven't played for a long time. I was just thinking about today. A little bird perched on a mountainside, little wings wondering if they can fly. A pretty little song singing questions to the breeze. Can these little wings really bring me to my dreams? The wind is there to dance upon. The rain keeps the rhythm in the dreamer's song. And when you ask me why the sky is blue, I'll tell you, blue is the color of the boundless streams of little birds who sing like you. She knows you love her, she knows you're right, that there really is danger in the wind at night. And she sees how you worry every single time she leaves. But in her dreams at night, it's only blue sky that she sees. The wind is there to dance upon, the rain keeps the rhythm in the dreamer's song. And when you ask me why the sky is blue, blue is the color of the boundless dreams of little birds who sing like you. Now you stand behind her on the mountainside. When she looks back, you see the whole world in her eyes. When the wind lifts her skyward, her song is on the breeze. Can these little wings really bring me to my dreams? The wind is there to dance upon, the rain keeps the rhythm in the dreamer's song. And when you ask me why the sky is blue, I'll tell you, blue is the color of the boundless dreams of little birds who sing like you, of little birds who sing like you. There you go.
Connection with usually.
You hear that?
Yeah, I hear that. Alright.
Hi.
I hear some of it. Alright. So let me play this for Thelia down in Tennessee. Thelia, this is called Psycho Mom and Dad. I don't know why, what this says about Thelia and her family, but she loves it. And yes, I'm sure she'll be working this out in therapy later. If you can go into gallery view, you can see Thelia and her mom. I think they're hanging out someplace on a couch. I bet there they are. And sometimes Thelia will dance or get totally motivated for this thing here. So let me do this. When Mom come home from work today, I tell you what she saw. Every toy that me and my sister owned was laying out on the floor, and the table was covered with peanut butter, half-eaten sandwiches. There was cereal bowls, an open jar of mayo, and an empty can of tuna fish. Dad was eating a pizza, he had 2 or 3 slices gone. Sports page was laying on the living room floor, and the football game was on. When Ma tripped over my toy transformer, that pushed her over the edge. And that's when we knew she was turning into Psycho Mom again. She's screaming, I'm fed up, finished, I'm through. I've had it up to here with all of you. Running away, I'm leaving today. I'm gonna join the carnival. First I'm selling you kids for $1 a pound to a couple of cannibals. I used to be normal, used to be calm. Picking up after you animals that turn me into Psycho Mom. Ma was working, Dad was babysitting us the other night. Me and my brother started yelling at each other and we got into a fight. We were punching, kicking, scratching, pinching, pulling each other's hair. Just about the time we knocked the TV over, we saw Dad standing there. His blood was bubbling, he didn't say nothing, he stood there at the door. Me and my brother took a look at each other and we looked up from the floor. And Dad started to scream like a wild banshee and started pulling out his own hair. And that's when we knew he was psycho too, and we better get out of there. He's screaming, I'm fed up, I'm finished, I'm through, I've had it out there with all of you. I'm running away, I'm leaving today, I'm gonna join the carnival. First I'm selling you kids for $1 a pound to a couple of cannibals. I used to be normal, never got mad. Babysitting you animals turn me into Psycho Dad. For an hour, a mother and a father were trying to keep us in bed. Me and my sister never miss a chance to play with their heads. We were using every excuse in the book to try to keep from going to sleep. She said, I'm thirsty. I said, I gotta pee. She said, I forgot to brush my teeth. Just got done with that classic one. Upon this fateful night, where you say it's too dark, they turn on the light and then you cry because the light's too bright. And my eyes bugged out, Dad's head exploded and they both climbed up the wall. You should thank the Lord that you were not born to Psycho Dad and Mom. Screaming, fed up, finished through, had it up here with all of you running away. Dreaming today, gonna join the carnival. First I'm selling you kids for $0.01 a pound to anybody that will take you. We used to be normal. You remember, don't you, dear? It was 1974. We were hitchhiking around America trying to find ourselves. No, really, people used to do that. We were peace-loving creatures. We never got mad. Raising you animals turned us into Psycho Mom and Dad. All right, there you go.
Woo!
Oh, the sound of Sarah. Sarah sound.
Yay!
Yeah.
Gary?
Nice job dancing, Ophelia.
Philly's the best. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
It's a long story. I've been better. It's been quite a month, but I'm here and happy to be here. Happy to be with you. Happy to be with my Thursday peeps.
You know, I could say the exact same thing. Had better months, but happy to be here. All right, Sarah, let me play this for you. Someone else requested it. She walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said, I've surrendered. And her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said, I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. You know, life rains down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts, and we see them as they are breaking, and as their spirit dies, but deep inside we still believe they will come alive and fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Fly. Now she walks across the room like she could walk across the sky, and those old dark eyes are so alive. alive. They set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel. I say to myself, I feel Zuzu's petals. I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are.
Woo! Thank you, Don.
Thank
Woo!
you.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. So last night I went down to Lynn. I don't live in Lynn anymore. I live about 40 minutes away. I drove down to where I'm from and to a thing that I started called Speak Up. So 2008, I had a brilliant idea of starting a poetry reading in Lynn, Massachusetts. Like, and many of you have not been there, but it's the most unlikely sentence that could come out of a person's mouth in that community. Like, I'm going to start a poetry reading in this town. Where people will sit and listen to other people talk, and it was inconceivable. But it's been going now since 2008, and my friend Dave runs it still, and so I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud of my town for adapting. You know, they didn't know what a listening room was, but it turns out once they see what it's like to respect people that are just saying how they feel, then it turns out that everybody has something to say. And I set it up specifically so that everybody was welcome. So we had Pulitzer Prize winners and people fresh out of jail and whatever, like people who never spoke in public, and it just, it's a real legacy. And so one of the things about it, I don't know if you care about this, but so a lot of people who live in a tough place like that, their parents aren't capable of raising them. Really, like parents are heroin addicts or whatever, and so they're kind of off balance. These kids, when you see them, they're missing the key ingredients of being a human being, which is, in my opinion, is to belong somewhere, and to contribute. And because the parents didn't give them that, they just look like they don't have their sea legs, And then they would come in and find this other tribe of misfits that found each other, and then they'd have a tribe, and so they belong. They take care of one of the key ingredients, and then they would find their voice, get up there and speak, and then sometimes the guy that runs the place would put them on, teach them how to make coffee, and so they could contribute and be proud of something that they did. And it was like a little ecosystem. It is still a little ecosystem for giving people late in the game what their parents should have done for them if they were able to. No judgment on the parents, they have problems, right? And so to be back in there and to sort of just think about how it was just an idea, and now it's this ecosystem for almost 20 years now, right? It was really cool. And there was a young guy there, kid, 13, very talented kid. And I was just trying to think, what can I say to this kid who's obviously going to be a successful writer? He just was so gifted. And I thought about it, I got like 3 minutes with this kid. What would I wish somebody, up the food chain had said to me when I was 13 and knew that I wrote? And I just said, make your evolution as a human being your primary focus. He's just looking at me like, what's wrong with this old man? I go, but trust me, this is it. Every day when you wake up, your creative side is going to want to be your primary focus because it's fun and it's exciting and there's praise in it and glory and people telling you how good you are and all that stuff. But it needs to be second. You need to like learn another language and travel and go someplace and break somebody's heart and get in trouble and live, make your evolution, and then you'll always have something to write about. And he's saying, I understand that. And I said, right. And you'll see in this community that you're in, forgive me for saying this, people who have not done that because what eventually they wind up writing about writing. Because they have, their life experiences aren't fueling their writing. They're just kind of possessed by writing. And so it was a great moment. It was great to be down there, and Tony Toledo was there and all that. So it was a good break in what's been a pretty tough couple of months around here. Some medical issues and things. So it was great. We were like a recharging station. It kind of did the same for me that I was hoping it would do for everybody else down there. All right, I'm looking at my list of things to play. I'll try to get to everything if I can. Here, this one I've sent out to Kevin in Chicago, telling my friends in Chicago that I'm coming out there. One more time. Me and traveling are not loving each other that much these days. I know, but I want to get to Chicago one more time. So I took a gig in Milwaukee on November 9th, and I'm going to try to do something in Chicago on the 10th, and possibly on the 8th as well. See Marilyn Ray Beyer and some of my other friends who live out there, one more time. Then they can come here to see me after that. That's the way I look at it. My dad said, son, if you keep going on this way, bad report card, you're gonna wind up as a lumper on a cruise someday. I said, Dad, what's a lumper? I was laughing so hard, rolling on the floor. Dad, no one uses words like a lumper anymore. The guys are outside, it's Friday night, I gotta go. See you later and thanks for the lecture. He said, if you keep doing the things you're doing, if the things you're doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper down on the Second Chance crew. Me, Billy Bob, Rick and Ray, those were my drinking buddies. We were living for the party. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and don't forget Sunday. One by one they moved away from home. The time went by. The next thing I know, I'm 31. I'm drinking with a bunch of 19-year-olds. What a loser. Man, what a loser if you keep doing the things that you are doing. If these things that you are doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper on the Second Chance crew. Second Chance people got a touch of gray, partied their teens and their 20s away, but now they're sober, starting over, 32. They're just so glad to be working on the Second Chance crew. Those pallets aren't gonna move themselves, lumper. Wound up in the program, I know that's no surprise. I make the minimum wage, but at least I didn't die. My knees are aching, my back is sore. I've been dragging these ladders across a plywood floor. And Dad, I never wonder what a lumper is anymore. Wanna know why? 'Cause I'm a lumper. If you keep doing the thing that you are doing, if these things that you are doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper on the Second Chance crew. Smoke it and drink it and puff it up your nose while your education goes up in smoke. And when you're in your 30s and the party is through, we're saving you a seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. A seat at the meeting, a seat at the meeting. the meeting. A seat at the meeting. A seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. Seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. There it is. Bravo.
All right, Dawn.
They hit a little close to home with some of you people. That's all right. Oh boy. Put my glasses on and look at the
Eaters.
request list here. All right, let's do. Hi, Alan. Alan DeBay's here. He's got a little note here saying he's got bronchitis, so he's not chatting too much. But I want you to know I love you and I'm glad you're here, Mr. Alan DeBay from Kansas. All right, so I was on the highway, I was cruising along, I decided to put my seatbelt on. A minute later, baby, would you believe? A Big Mac truck crashed into me. I told the policeman that it was okay. He said your seatbelt saved your life today. The ambulance driver, the EMTs, they all started singing this song to me. Said it's a great day to not be dead. Shooby-doo-wah, shoo-wah, shoo-wah, not cave in your windshield with your head. You are an ugly man, but if that occurred, believe me, you would be even uglier. And it's a great day to not be dead. Shoo-doo-wah, shoo-wah, shoo-wah. I saw a news story on my TV set about a guy whose wife brought a knife to bed. 1 hour later, as the story goes, a part of his anatomy was laying by the road. Well, my wife looked over and she smiled at me. She started singing this song to me. She said, hey, it's a great day to not be dead. Shoo-doo-wah, shoo-wah, shoo-wah, and not have your wife bring a knife with her to bed. Shoo-doo-wah, chop, chop. She said, I yell, I scream, I complain a lot, but at least I haven't cut no body parts off, and it's a great day to not be dead. Shoo-doo-wah, shoo-wah, shoo-wah, you know, not cutting body parts off is a pretty good quality in a wife, really, when you think about it. If you're with somebody tonight, you've been with her any length of time, and you're still put together anatomically the same way you were when you first met, nobody thinks it's a bad idea for you to say thank you. I thought about my car crash and my close call. Then I started getting sentimental. I said, I love this house. I love you guys. I even love my rusty old car outside, and I'm so happy. I'm really happy to be alive with you. Let's do all the things we always said that we would do. 'Cause man, I gotta tell you, it's a great day. It's a great day. It is a great day. It is a great day. It's a great day to not be dead. There you go.
Woo! All right, Dawn. Woohoo!
So I'm missing my buddy Neil tonight. You guys know that his heart surgery went well, but then he wound up falling and winding up back in ICU and all kinds of problems. As far as I know, he's out and in rehab, and you know, some people get 9 lives. I think Neil's on his like 20th, not life now. He's just impossible to knock out of the picture, but. I guess I didn't really expect him to be here tonight, but I miss him. Neil Braverman, we're talking about one of the great people of the world.
How's Tim?
Tim, I haven't spoken to Tim Mason. I don't know. Last I heard, he was doing okay. He had a couple strokes, and one thing that's going on with them is on August 17th. Local people, this is kind of for you. They're doing a reunion of the old Vienna. It's going to be in Hopkinton, Mass. Yeah,
Oh,
and it's outdoors and
Vienna, August 17th.
yeah, August 17th and yeah, and people coming in from all over the place to do it. I'm gonna play. Christine Lavin's gonna be there. That's where I met Christine Lavin. Did I ever tell you about the time I first met her? So it's 1993 or something. I was like, I don't know what I was, but not famous. I was that. And I opened for her then, and she was backstage, and uh, and she said, "I hear you're really good. Play a song for me." And I just looked at her and I thought about it, and I'm like, "Nah." I go, "No, I can't." And she's looking at me like she said later. She said, "You're either really good or really cocky or what." You know, I'm not sure what to make of you. But what I was thinking was, I need an audience to do this. It's too weird to just play a song for somebody. Like someone will walk in the middle of it or whatever. I just didn't want to do it. And then you know, that was my home venue, the old Vienna Coffee House in Westboro, Mass. That's where I first started playing, and I did my best to terrorize her audience. And she told me, she said, that was the first and only time I ever started my show with a ballad because Dawn White had wound that audience up so bad that I had to calm them down. So she's gonna be there. She's gonna be there, and who knows what else. But that's August 17th. Keep an eye out for it. You can go online to the Vienna reunion. I think there's a Facebook page and all that stuff. I think they're raising money and all that. But it's happening. It's a real thing. So that's a Tim thing. So let's see. We'll play a couple more songs, then we're gonna have Trisha read some poetry for us, my friend Trisha Knudsen, and then we'll take a little break. This thing's free, but if you can donate a couple bucks, that'll be great. The information is in your chats, and it'll be on the splash when we take our break. And we just use it to buy groceries around here. That's basically it. Let me just see what else is going on. You know, it's not. All right, here we go. I'm kind of I'm in the mood to resurrect old ones tonight. When I say resurrect, that word has the word wrecked in the middle of it, so sometimes they're a train wreck because I haven't played them. Let's see what happens. They both took their dreams and laid them to sleep soon after their children were born. Because you need to provide kids a stable environment, and you need to be steady and strong. But occasionally he will wake up his dreams to see how they feel in his hands, and then he puts them away and goes to work the next day, an ordinary family man. Ordinary people will lay down their dreams knowing they may not see them again. They do it for their families with strength and dignity. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. She never thought twice about devoting her life to the care of her daughter and son. And she works every night at a job she don't like. She does whatever needs to be done. But occasionally she will dress up her dreams and ask them if they'd like to dance. And for an hour or so she lets herself hold her beautiful dreams in her hands. Ordinary people will lay down their dreams knowing they may not see them again. They do it for families with strength and dignity. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. Now they sit with each other. They wait and they wonder on the day their first grandchild is born. And those dreams seem so distant. Now everything is different and they know they are right where they belong. When the child is passed to them, a light passes through them. They both know, they both understand. And as they cradle that baby, they think they just may be an ordinary woman and man, who are holding their dream in their hand. Ordinary people will lay down their dreams, knowing they may not see them again. And they do it for their families with strength and dignity. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. Ordinary women and men. There you go.
Beautiful, Dawn.
Thank you,
Woo!
Sarah. All right, I'm pretty much gonna just play anything anybody wants, if I can. Like Sarah, I'm not sure, but I don't want to mess up that one that you wanted. So
That's the best song ever.
I'll practice it. I'll practice it during the little break, and if I can get through it, I'll play it in the second part. How's that?
Okay.
All right. But you know,
Quintessential.
thank you. This I've talked about this before, so this is a song that did the most for me in my life. It brought me the most friends. It's a, you know, it's called I Know What Love Is. I still play it most of the time. Sometimes I have to give it a break, you know, a little bit, but I can still do it with conviction. I still remember how I felt when I wrote it, how I knew that it was coming from a place no other songs came from. It's kind of just, I don't know how to explain it. But I knew when I wrote it, like, oh, this is bigger than me, this one, and I'm glad that's reached so many people, and that people get something out of it, and I'm gonna do it now. You know, one of the problems I have with it, there's a bunch of problems with it, is that, you know, I've taught myself how to feel the feelings in my songs, even when they're like this one, written from 1991. I mean, it's old. But I can't do it. I've trained myself to feel the feelings that are in all the words. And I did it because I knew that would make the song better when I sang it, so I don't know how to not do that. I can't be thinking about something else when I'm doing it. I'm feeling it. I remember how I felt when I wrote it. Sometimes, you know, I have to be careful, because if my life is complicated, which it is, I started thinking about my mom and my daughter, all the women in my life, and then, you know, I had to, like, catch myself, you know, because it will overwhelm me. But I've learned something. I've sang, not this song, but other songs, like at my parents' funerals and all that, and have to, like, sometimes through the whole thing, remind myself not to cry during it, right? Not to get overwhelmed, because it ruins it. It takes it. It's supposed to be about the song or the person that you're singing for or whatever, and then if people see you get too overwhelmed, then it's about you. So it's kind of a felony, I think, in my humble opinion. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna be determined not to get swept up in it, even though at the moment it's certainly a possibility. So thank you for requesting it, whoever did, and for all the people who have you know, made this song what it is for a long time now, decades. There is a little girl with pretty curls. She's about 5 years old, and she's waiting at the gate for her dad to come home. When he pulled around the corner in his shiny white car, she feels the magic light up in her heart. And he picks her up and he holds her. He says he missed her. He's glad that she is here. As the child lays her head on his shoulder, she whispers these words in his ear. Daddy, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now she is 20 and there's plenty of love everywhere. She's getting married, so her family and her friends are all there. They've gathered this morning to stand at her side as she waves goodbye to this time in her life. And they each take a moment to hold her and to tell her what she means to them. In a world that seems to keep getting colder, she has been blessed with a warm family and friends. She says, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are older and no one told her it got crazy like this. They're going to night school, they're working jobs too, and they are raising 3 kids. The youngest one is crying with a bruise on her knee. She needs attention and she needs sympathy. And when she picks her up and she holds her, that old magic lights up in her heart. And as the child lays her head on her shoulder, she knows exactly why they're working so hard. Little girl, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. Now they are 60 and their history spans 40 odd years. They have buried their parents, now their grandkids are here. There's something about the way they look in each other's eyes that speaks softly about the meaning of life. And when he puts his arm out to hold her, it feels so familiar and warm. She thinks love is an expanding endeavor till your last breath from the moment you're born. Now she is 80 and she hates being in this nursing home. Her man's been gone now for a long while and she feels so alone. She closes her eyes and she begins to pray that a little comfort might just come her way. And God lifts her up and he holds her. And she remembers this feeling she has. She is not A woman whose life is almost over. She's a little girl being held by her dad. And God, I know exactly what love is. Love is real simple and true. Love is this feeling my heart gets when I'm being held close by you. And God, love is real simple. Love is real simple. Love is real simple and true. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful, Dawn. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Well, we got through that.
Good job, my friend. Good job.
Did very well.
Yeah. Uh, um, all right. So, what we want to do now is one of the things I've loved about doing this. We did this for those of you that are new to this, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or here in the inner sanctum. Is that we did it all through COVID every week, and we developed this community. And one of the things that I really loved about it was I got to introduce my online world to my friends, other talented people. And in I think I've said this many times before, but just to reiterate, to me, everybody who stands on a stage, especially by themselves, and they all suffer from the same disease. And the disease is they think they have something to say. That's the disease. And 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 so I've always never saw a difference between being a songwriter or a poet or a storyteller or a comedian. To me, these are just all people trying to do the same thing, engage with an audience. And so I've surrounded myself with them and learned from them. And my show, if I do it right, is kind of equal parts all of those things. And so tonight so I've built this little section into these things so that so you can meet people from other genres sometimes or from the music world. But tonight it's my friend Trisha Knudsen, who is just a beautiful human being and a fantastic poet and a good friend. And I just thought it was appropriate that here, when the last one of the year, we get to have Trisha here to send us off. So Trisha, first let me say hello to you. How are you?
Hi, Don. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. How are those grandchildren? Everybody? They're all good?
All perfect. All perfect.
Well, they're perfect? Nothing wrong with them? No faults?
Nothing at all. That's my job.
Yeah. Your job is to make sure that everyone understands that this is a work of perfection that we're
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
Well, you know how I feel about you. Thank you to you and Phil for coming out to the show at the Bull Run. I appreciate that very much.
It was wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome, and it's nice to see you out. I don't want to give away your secrets, but with some of the issues that you've had medical wise, it's hard for you to be out in public now. But you're doing good,
It
right?
is.
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you. Yeah. I'm
you're
doing
welcome.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
we'll go, in 8, 10 minutes or something. Just give us some words to think about before we go into the intermission.
Okay. Sounds good. I have a few here. And the first one I was thinking about taxes and tax day and all the people who want your money all the time. Donations that I get through the mail daily, at least one or two a day. So, anyway, this is called Anyway. Everybody wants your money. What you gonna do about it, honey? I find it a little bit funny but not in a funny way. Asking for the hard-earned dollars from the blue and the white working collars kind of makes me want to holler. How's my pittance going to help anyway? I know I'm rich beyond measure, but my riches are not an earthly treasure, and not where I store up my pleasure, here just keeping the wolves at bay. So here's my promise to the askers as I sit here as a multitasker. When I have a bit of leftover cash, I'll try to send a 10 spot your way. Otherwise, stop the begging and the mailing. All it gets you is a bailing and a tossing in the paper bin that's failing to offer what you ask for anyway.
Yay.
Thanks.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.
I won't be asking you for any money, I guess.
You don't have to ask. I just spent a couple of weeks with my grandchildren on my daughter's side of the family, two grandsons and a baby girl. And I overheard my grandsons speaking to each other. Max will be 9 in May, and Gus will be 6 next month. And I just called this Hey Brother. They may fight sometimes about little nothings and compete with each other in games and contests of strength and will, but there is no stronger bond than a brother's kindness when one is struggling or hurt or just plain sad. Because that laughter together is one of the best sounds I know, and their corny jokes and remembered movie quotes and silly games are the ties that bind them to one another and create an unbreakable, interwoven web of family love that can be counted on from now until the end of time. Hey, brother, I hear the elders say, and the answer comes. Hey, brother, hey.
Beautiful.
Thanks. I told you they're perfect. This one, because I didn't want to overdo the time, I decided to do now, and if there's extra time, I'll do another one. But this one is for Mr. Don White. After seeing his show at the Bull Run earlier this month, he told a story about his heart and how he's having a little trouble with his heart. And so I wrote him a poem called The Heart of the Matter. It's for you, Don. He's a funny man, talented at making people laugh and cry, all with the same song or story, eyes shining with the glory of all that he is, all he has become as he rambles by and by. Some say of him that these are his gifts, but I am here to disagree, because despite these things, he sees me. He sees you too. He sees the restlessness, the pain, the things that haunt and follow you. He tames the fears as he speaks your name, or sings his songs for you to hear that take away or ease that fear. It's true that he is just a man, perhaps like you, who has learned a thing or two about the way the world can be, and makes a choice to sing it through or tell his stories, old and new, with a heart big as the sea and deep, that touches us to make us weep and laugh at the same absurdities, the commonality of our humanity. This is the heart of the matter, that pump that he has grown to love, the one that keeps him here above the ground, its steady sound beating out his days by the minute. He lives and loves within it. That's for you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're killing
Wow.
You're killing
It's true. It's true.
He does make us laugh and cry within the same song.
He sure does. He sure does.
If I
He's a
knew
good guy.
Yeah. If I knew you were gonna slip that over on me, I wouldn't have invited you here.
I mean, you had to sing "I Know What Love Is" right before I spoke, so
So right back at you.
so take that.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, do another one. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I do have another one here. Okay, this was a prompt from it's called ekphrastic writing when you look at a piece of art and you're inspired enough by it to write something. And there's an annual poetry challenge that I'm involved with in Hopkinton, now in Southborough. It started in Hopkinton. Oops, I lost you here. Hang on a sec. I don't know if you can still see me. There it is. That gives you pieces of art through some woods, and you have to go be inspired by them and write. So this one, I don't remember exactly. Some lady took all of the plastic for the year 2020 that came into her house, and she refashioned it and made a sort of a fence with it that she hung between trees, and that was the art. So this is called How One Saves the World. Begin by loving the earth as a child, barefoot in the lush green grass, touching dew-laden leaves and feeling the sun, glorious and warm on your face, kissing toads and saving worms just out of the soil for a soak in the rain, removing them from the harm of driveway tires, helping to plant the bulbs in autumn that will bring summer's blossoms, hugging and climbing and loving the majesty that is a tree. As a young adult, begin to understand that you too have the power to change man's cycles of the earth's destruction. Pick up trash in your own neighborhood. Adopt, reduce, reuse, recycle as a sort of spiritual mantra, tossing the tins and glass and used plastics into bins to be reborn. When you're grown, learn that this alone is not enough to save us. Clamped down in a pandemic, start collecting the detritus that comes to your own home, fashioning it into shapes which will eventually become a form of art that proclaims, makes real, creates a statement for others to gain knowledge that will also spur them to action. Pieces of beauty generated from scraps and bound together to catch our attention and prick our hearts to engagement. This is how one begins to change the world. Thanks.
Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
beautiful.
you, Trisha.
Thank you.
Woo! Very nice.
That was lovely.
Thank you very much.
So,
Appreciate it.
thanks for everything, through the years and all that, to you and Phil. Just love you guys. And
Love you too.
so I want to say something about that last piece. So we have a two-family here, and next door is my daughter and her 4-year-old, 4.5, and he likes to pick up trash. But his
Nice.
grandmother can't stand the thought of him touching trash with his hands. So we bought him a grabber, like a long thing,
Nice.
like that.
Nice.
And so now they go down Salisbury Beach and pick up trash with a trash bag, and he loves it. I'm telling you, if
That's
you have
awesome.
grandchildren, buy them, buy them. Buy one for yourself and one for him, and then
Yeah.
everybody's coming up to them saying how wonderful they are, and I have to get one of those grabbers too. And like some kids, if you say to them, "Hey, you're gonna go to the park, or you're gonna go to the you're gonna go you're gonna go to the fair," or they'd be excited. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna go pick up trash." Ah! He's like, he can't wait. So
My grandboys had one of those grabbers. They loved it, especially when their balls went under the couch.
yeah, but I'm
They
telling you, if you
loved them.
want, like, go to the beach or whatever, and do it. It's worth everything. All right, so we're gonna take
That's
just a little break and come back. If you can donate something to the Don White Ramen Noodle Fund over here, that would be great. But don't no pressure. Like if you're struggling with money or whatever, this is for you. You're okay. Don't worry about it. But if you can, to throw a few bucks, the information is in your respective chats, and I'll be back in maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll play to a little bit after. I don't know, play for another half hour or something like that, and then I think we'll do a little after party over here on Zoom too. After, if anybody wants to hang around, since this is the last one. So. I'll be back. Anything? Yep. All right. Um,
August.
All right. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. So I'm going through my request list. I had to practice a couple of them. I'm gonna do them now, and thank you for thinking of them. So Pam, I'm just let me shout out to Pam. It says Venmo asked for the last 4 digits of. Oh, then never mind. You just scroll down past Venmo. All right. Thank you for those of you that donated. It means a lot. We were on fixed income here, and we got some unexpected expenses of late. But here, this is a song. I'm so glad people asked for this. I forget who did it, but thank you. This is called One Little Drop, and for all the working people in the world, I guess. I hope I can remember how to do it. Does it sound okay, everybody? Yeah? Yeah?
Sounds good.
All the work gets done in the valley, and all the money rains. All the work gets done in the valley. All the money rains down on the mountain top. When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, it's only one little drop to feed the family. One little drop to pay the medical bill. One little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Oh, they work so hard to divide us with a steady stream of lies. 'Cause if we ever start fighting with each other, we might start asking each other why. If all the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop? One little drop to feed the family. One little drop to pay the medical bill. One little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Just keep buying those politicians and those TV newsmen too. Make them say every day, my problem is my neighbor, when I know that my problem is you. Just keep lying about corporate tax breaks, how the jobs are gonna trickle down. But beware of the day when the people say that they are sick of being trickled on. One little drop to feed the family. One little drop to pay the medical bill. One little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Enjoy your view of the valley from that house on top of the hill. Right now the giant is sleeping. That doesn't mean that it always will. 'Cause when the sleeping giant starts moving, it is impossible to stop. You know, every flood that ever washed a city away started with a little drop. One little drop will start an ocean. One little drop will start a wave. One little drop will start a flood that's coming to wash the gilded city away. If all of the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop? Here you go.
Woo! All right, John.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, I practice your song, and I'll take a stab at it if you'll introduce it. How's that?
Okay,
All
I
right.
can do that.
Can you side by side us, Brandon, please? So this is my
All
friend
right.
Sarah. This is Sarah, the cornerstone of our Thursday night for 4 years running, pretty much now. She's come to us from California, and she's a teacher
Yep.
and the coolest teacher in the whole school, I'm sure.
Oh, thanks, Don. Yeah, I don't know that I missed maybe one show during the COVID run that we had. There was a core group of us that stuck together, which was pretty amazing. And it made my week, every week to come onto this. And so this next song is called the MTV Love Song. And I know Don always jokes around and says it's like the worst song ever, but I personally feel like it is the quintessential Don White song because it has what we've talked about already. It will make you cry, it'll make you laugh, it'll take you on this journey. It's catchy. It at the time when it was written, it had, sort of a little pop culture in there and all that sort of stuff. And I know he wrote it as kind of an FU to the record company to some extent, but I just think it has an amazing message. And I stand behind that. I think this is the quintessential John White song. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sarah. Thanks.
Take it away, my friend.
All right. Now, after that great introduction, I have to try not to mutilate this tune. And so, just briefly, if those of you that don't know, so this, my record company that I was with, and other people in the business all the way through, used to say to me, "Don't bore us, get to the chorus," but they just like, I just have such a rebellious streak about that. I thought when I first went to write this, I thought, can I write a song with just one note in it? How about that? Would that be good with a record company like that? And I tried, but I couldn't do it. So I decided maybe I can write a song that breaks every rule that they have. So no bridge, no chorus, 3 verses with 3 different emotional agendas, and 2 chords in it. And so I think it's the most unmarketable song. Maybe not the worst one, but it's it's not a pop song. And those of you that this story is made up, none of this is real. It's just so you know. Try that again. I'm 64, she's 63, which is, younger than I am now, and I wrote this when I was in my 30s probably, alright, just so you know. I'm 64, she's 63. Our grandkids were over watching MTV, and there were women gyrating all over the screen with some amazing dance moves, if you know what I mean. There was a young man singing a song about love, while these women dance around him all shaking their stuff. I said, you don't think that I could handle those young wild girls? She said, there ain't enough Viagra in the whole wide world. And then she laughed that I love so well. It filled the room and cast a spell. And while they sang about love on MTV, I sat and thought about what love means to me. Let's say you get married and you have a little boy, and for 3 sweet years he brings you love and joy. But before he turns 4, that kid gets sick, and Jesus comes to take him, and takes him real quick. And when they lower him into that cold, dark hole, they bury your heart, they bury your soul. And after that you walk around like you were still alive, but your heart is underground by that little kid's side. So how could you have known that your heart still lived inside the love of the mother of that little kid, and that when the time was perfect, she would plant the seed in the hole where your old heart used to be, and with the right amount of water and the right amount of sun, she'd bring you back among the living and back among the love. Do you really think a love that is just about sex could ever grow you back a heart that was ripped from your chest? All these stupid young punks in the videos singing songs about love. What the hell do they know? Well, don't get me wrong, I love to see women gyrating on my TV. It is exciting, it's erotic, it's amusing, it's fun. It is a whole lot of things, but it's sure not love. This love I have known, it cannot be explained. It is the kind that finds heaven through the terror and the pain. It's a glance, it's a whisper, a prayer, it's a smile. It's even some gentle gyrations, you know, every once in a while. Did it.
Well done, my friend. Well done.
Well done.
It's like I've been practicing it all day.
Nicely done. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I love you so much. You're the best.
Love
All
you
right.
too.
All right. So I don't know what.
So, brief announcement. Neil says he loves all you guys and he thanks you for all your wishes.
Neil Braverman, the best, one of the best, man.
Don, what's that say on the back of your guitar?
It says, "Call your dad." Hey, what? Now everybody I know, his dad is dead. That's been on there since my audience got to the point where they were less than 70 years old. Yeah, there was a time in my show where the whole show was just about raising teenagers, and I would use that quite a lot, just flip it over and do that, and you know, I've used a lot of tricks in my life on my career. All right, so I think normally we wrap up around 8:30, but let me play a couple more, and then we'll have a little after party. So those of you that are watching on other platforms, I went and checked on Facebook, and so you're welcome to come over here to Zoom. In your chats will be a way to get over here if you want to hang out with us after we stop the stream. And I don't know what we'll do, talk probably, and maybe I'll do another tune or so. But if there's anybody here that wants to read a poem or tell a story or anything like that, it's the last one that I'm going to do till next winter probably, I think. And we'll just stretch it out a little bit here. So I think what I'll do is I'll play so too many serious things here tonight. Let me play "I'm from Lynn" and see how that goes, and then maybe one other one. I was born in the city of Lynn, home of the first turbine engine. And as if that wasn't enough, it's also the home of marshmallow fluff. You can travel the whole country, you'll never find a bigger fluff factory. From Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick, that's what I said. I'm not from Swampscott or Marblehead. Don't be staring at me that way. I am from Lynn, what can I say? I used to hang around in Barry Park. That's illegal after it gets dark. I would stand on the bleachers where things got smoked and beer was chug-a-lug. Bottles were broke later in the evening when the police come. 27 juveniles are on the run, and juveniles are running everywhere you see, jumping over fences, climbing in trees. But I'm too loaded to get away. My name is in the paper on the next day. My mother and my father just can't believe I would publicly humiliate the family. But I said, Mom, I'm from Lynn. What can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick. That's what I said. I'm not from Swampscott or Marblehead. Don't be staring at me that way. I am from Lynn. What can I say? On the corner of every street, somebody's cooking something greasy to eat. Deep fat is frying everywhere you look. This town is bound for the record books. A million sub shops open all night long. A socio-intestinal phenomenon. I'm from Lynn. What can I say? People from Lynn eat this way. There's no room in my stomach for French cuisine. Give me a bag of cheese curls and a submarine. Julia Child, get out of my way. I'm from Lynn. What can I say? I left Lynn 10 years ago. I didn't know where I was gonna go. 10 of my friends were leaning against a bar and grill. 10 years later, they're leaning there still. Half of my friends who are not on the street are dead, in jail, or annoying me, and I'm from Lynn. What can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick. That's what I said. They won't even let me into Marblehead. Don't be staring at me that way. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? Ta-da!
Woohoo! All right, John. Woohoo!
Sarah, who used to live in Lynn.
Yep.
Rascal is a dog, he ain't too bright. Me and Rascal were sitting on my couch last night when my woman come in and she started to cry. She looked at us with such terror in her eyes. She said, I have raised these children for 18 years. Now they're growing up and moving out of here. And my big reward for all that I've been through is this dog as dumb as mud. And you? Yippee-yada. Rascal looked at me in disbelief. He said she can't be talking about you and me. She's got us to spend the rest of her whole life with. Would you please tell her how incredibly lucky she is? And I said, who is gonna love you any better than this? Will wake you up every morning with big wet kisses when we hear the police sirens in your neighborhood. We throw our heads up in the air and we howl for you.
And that's cool.
Zoom really takes the fun out of howling, doesn't it? That's cool. You gotta admit that's pretty cool. You know, I don't believe we had succeeded in convincing her of the outrageous good fortune that had just befallen her. In fact, instead of looking happy as she could be, she looked a little bit suicidal to me. But hey, kids go to college, kids move away, but dogs and husbands, that's who stays. To you it seems like a big trick of fate, but me and Rascal don't see it that way. We're thinking, ain't we cuddly, ain't we cute, we're both real funny, both real true. There's another thing about us that's very cool. If you scratch us on our belly, our left leg moves. And you gotta admit that's cool. Well, okay, so maybe we ain't that smart. We're a couple of mutts with a lot of heart. But no one could ever love you better or give you more loyalty than this dog. As dumb as mud. This dog is dumb as mud. This dog is dumb as mud. And me. How lucky can one girl be? She's got a dog like you, a man like me. We'll be together well into this next century. Put that knife down, baby. All right.
Woo!
Hey, do like Don White's greatest hits here. We're thinking, our kids are grown, they're both in their 20s. They live at home, they are never gonna leave. And why should they go? They've got it good here, you know. Their food, their phone, their rent is free. They would have to be out of their minds to leave. But I was thinking, what if things were different? Living here at home with you and me. What if we decided we could act like they both did when they were in their teens? So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I have got the key. Let's steal our daughter's car. We will both get really drunk and we'll put a big dent in her trunk. And we'll drive real fast on the thoroughfare. If we get a speeding ticket, we won't care. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild. They'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mama, climb out of this window. Come on out and be 16 with me. Picture our kids calling all of our friends up and asking them if they know where we are. Of course all our friends will lie and say they ain't seen us all night, but we'll be standing right beside them while they're on the phone, smoking and drinking and carrying on when we come strolling home on Sunday morning. You know, around 10 o'clock while the neighbors walk to church, our kids will ask us where we've been, and then they'll ask us again, and we will just make up a great big lie and swear that it's the truth until the day we die. And they'll be the ones trying to find the truth out. And we'll be the ones lying through our teeth. And under pressure, we'll confess that we had unprotected sex that will gross them out so much they might just start to think about moving out. If turnabout is fair play in this life, and what better way to encourage them to leave than to give them both a dose of what it was like to live with them when they were in their teens. So we go, mama, climb out of this window. I've got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We'll both get really drunk and we'll put a big dent in her trunk. And no one will know where we are until we come home in a police car. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild. And they'll be the ones up all night worrying. We go, mom, climb out of this window. Come on out and be 16 with me.
Yahoo!
All right. So I have to tell you that I have to tell you two things. One, that song was covered. Well, you know, not too many people have covered my song, but someone named Katie Curtis, quite an accomplished person around here. She's and if you know anyone knows her, Katie Curtis. But she covered that song and did a nice job with it. And she just texted me or wrote me recently. She's moving to near where I live, so I'm gonna get to hang out with Katie Curtis, which
Oh,
I don't
fun.
know. It's really sweet. She's a very, just a great person. Good Katie. And the other thing I was thinking of when I was playing that is that people have been saying to me, like, more than once now in the last, I don't know, last year, half a year, or since COVID's over and been out playing. They're saying, I've seen you a lot, but you seem so energetic, or you're like you I don't know. What they're basically saying is, you're getting better, or you're more. I don't know. This show is better than the other ones I show. And I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. But then I just thought about it, and I think what happened is I'm realizing I'm not going to do this forever. And that now I feel that every time. So if you do come and see me these days, I I'm present. I'm like not. I'm just kind of like drinking in every minute of it. Do you know what I mean? Like and I feel very present and very animated and anxious to enjoy it as much as it can be enjoyed. You know, which you know, who knows? So I'm gonna sing one more song for us, and then we'll um, take a short break. And anybody that wants to hang out with us in the after party here on Zoom, we'll just have a chat, and you know, like that. And those of you that have contributed, thank you so much. I'm gonna sing this song. I normally would not do two a cappella things in one thing, but I've been thinking about this one all day, and you know, whether I want to admit it or not, I am often, by virtue of just being old, I think, in the business sometimes of handing out bad advice to people. You know, they ask me for it and I hand it to them, but I take no responsibility for it. But I mean, I have mentored a fair amount of people, and I'm anxious to do it, young writers, and you know, I have a place in my heart for everybody that needs a leg up in this world, right? And what happens to me sometimes is when my life gets complicated, I what's that saying? Is it biblical here? You know, where it say like, "Physician, heal thyself." That thing. Like that's how I feel. Like I should be listening to my own advice. Like I shouldn't be dispensing it. I should be saying it in a mirror to myself. Um, and so I'm gonna sing this song. It's called "The Painter," and it's really just I've been just singing it to myself lately, just to remind myself that you know. You want to be able to take care of everybody, but if you don't take care of yourself, you can't do that job. You know, job number one is to take care of yourself, even though sometimes it's not easy. But if you love the people that you're supposed to be taking care of or helping, you're diminishing your value to them if you neglect your own care, you know, your own mental health and all that. So for everybody. Thank you for the support through the years. I'm out there performing now this next year quite a bit and traveling a little bit to the Midwest and a couple times Detroit and Milwaukee. And but after that, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stay close to home and enjoy my life more than travel. So. Come out and see me if you can, and this is for everybody, and you know, here this is like just for you all. That's grateful beyond words to everybody for the whole thing, for the support, for the career, for the creativity, for the sense of community, for all of it. In this portrait of sadness in the big gallery, there is a man in the foreground in such misery, but the horizon behind him is vibrant and bright. We see him staring into darkness, but covered in light. If I were the painter, I would paint you with wings, and I would dress you in the colors that come in the spring. And when your heart was in darkness and you were alone, I'd paint sunshine around you and wings to carry you home. In this portrait of anger and low self-esteem, there is a woman in danger of a life without dreams. And as I stare at her shoulders, Lord, all I can see Is this a mountain of a burden where wings ought to be? If I were the painter, I would paint you with wings, and I would dress you in the colors that come in the spring. And when your heart was in darkness and you were alone, I'd paint sunshine around you and wings to carry you home. This face in my mirror, this portrait of me is constantly changing for the whole world to see. But the hand on the brushes that color this face is the hand that belongs to the person it paints. If I am the painter, I will paint me with wings, and I will dress me in the colors that come in the spring. And when my heart is in darkness and I am alone, I will paint sunshine around me and wings to carry me home. I will paint sunshine around me and wings to carry me home. Thank you for a lovely evening, everyone. Ta-da!
Thank you.
All right. So those of you on the other platforms, this YouTube and Facebook, we're gonna hang around over here on Zoom if you want to come and join us. Sort of a goodbye to live streaming from Dawn for a while. But if you don't pop over, thank you so much for the support wherever you're coming from, and I hope I see you out there. And those of you that were able to throw a few bucks my way, I will I will think of you fondly when I'm buying groceries, probably tomorrow. And so let's say goodbye to everybody on
Thanks,
Facebook.
Dawn.
Goodbye,
Woo!
Bye, Facebook.
Via Facebook, via YouTube.
Bye,
and,
YouTube.
And then the rest of us here on on Zoom will be able to gossip once